A customs dog stops at one suitcase in the baggage area, then another, then another. The dog is trained to detect the scent of currency, and it's detecting something everywhere. A man is standing nearby, his face going pale, as the dog moves from suitcase to suitcase to suitcase. Officers begin counting. $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million in cash, hidden across 47 different suitcases. A money laundering operation so sophisticated it took a dog's nose to uncover it. This is the moment that changed everything. Before we continue with this incredible story, I need your support. Please hit that like button right now and subscribe to this channel. We're bringing you real customs mysteries every single day. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Now let's continue. Los Angeles International Airport. Wednesday morning. LAX is one of the busiest airports in the world. Over 88 million passengers per year. Thousands of flights. Thousands of stories. Thousands of secrets walking through these terminals every single day. It's where the world comes. Hollywood. Business. Tourism. Money. Lots of money flows through LAX. Legitimate money and illegitimate money. Officer James Rodriguez has been working customs at LAX for 13 years. He's seen everything. He's processed millions of passengers. He's caught drug smugglers. He's caught human traffickers. He's caught weapons smugglers. But money laundering cases are different. Money laundering is sophisticated. Money laundering requires patience. Money laundering requires understanding how organized crime thinks. This Wednesday morning, James is working the baggage area. Passengers are claiming their luggage. They're opening their suitcases. They're heading to their final destinations. It's a routine day. It seems like any other day. But then James sees something that catches his attention. A man, middle-aged, well-dressed, expensive watch, designer clothes. He's standing near the baggage claim carousel, and he's nervous. Not obviously nervous, but James has been doing this for 13 years. He can read nervousness. The man is watching his bags come around. He's waiting for specific bags. James counts them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. But the man keeps watching. More bags come around. 7, 8, 9, 10. By the time the man has collected his bags, he's claimed 17 suitcases. 17. That's unusual. That's suspicious. James calls over his supervisor, Officer Lisa Martinez. Lisa has been with customs for 16 years. She's a specialist in financial crimes. She understands the patterns of money laundering. James, look at that guy. He's got 17 bags.
Lisa, where's he headed?
James, I don't know yet, but something's off. Lisa watches the man carefully. She watches how he's moving his bags. She watches his body language. She notices that he's trying to move inconspicuously. He's trying not to draw attention, but that's exactly what draws attention. Lisa, I'm going to need to do a secondary inspection on your bags. The man's face goes pale. Victor, what? Why? I haven't done anything wrong. Lisa, we're just doing a routine inspection. Please come with me. The man's name is Victor Santos. He's a businessman from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He says he's in Los Angeles for a conference. He says the bags contain business materials and personal items. They walk to the secondary inspection area. Lisa begins opening bags methodically. She's looking for anything suspicious. She's looking for anything that doesn't match Victor's story. The first 5 bags contain business materials. Laptops, documents, conference materials, normal stuff. But then, in the 6th bag, Lisa feels something unusual. The bag is heavier than it should be. Given what she's seeing inside, the weight doesn't add up. Lisa presses on the lining of the bag. She feels something hard, something that shouldn't be there. She carefully opens the lining. Inside are stacks of American currency, $100 bills, tightly wrapped, bundled together. Lisa counts quickly, $50,000 in one bag. Lisa, Mr. Santos, where did this money come from? Victor, I can explain. I was making investments. I needed to move money. Lisa, you're moving $50,000 in a hidden compartment in your luggage? Lisa immediately calls for backup. She calls for the currency dog. She calls for additional officers. This is now a federal case. The currency dog arrives within minutes. His name is Duke. He's a German shepherd trained specifically to detect the scent of money. Currency has a distinctive scent, a scent that dogs can detect. Duke is led through the inspection area. He walks past the bags, he sniffs, and then he stops. He sits down, he's indicating, the dog has detected currency. Duke moves to the next bag, he sniffs. He sits. He indicates again. He moves to the next bag, sniff. Sit. Indicate. Bag after bag after bag. Duke indicates on nearly every single bag. Nearly every bag contains currency. Officers begin opening every single bag, and in each one they find hidden compartments. And in each hidden compartment, they find stacks of American currency.
They count.
50,000, 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, 500,000, $1 million. By the time they've opened all 17 bags, they've found approximately $2 million in cash. $2 million hidden in 17 suitcases. $2 million that Victor was trying to smuggle out of the country. Victor, please. I can explain. This is a misunderstanding. Lisa, Mr. Santos, you're under arrest for attempting to smuggle currency out of the United States without declaring it. Victor is taken into custody. He's read his rights. He's detained. Federal agents are called. FBI agents arrive. DEA agents arrive. This is bigger than just a customs case. The interrogation begins. FBI Special Agent Michelle Chang takes the lead. Michelle is a financial crime specialist. She's investigated organized crime. She's investigated money laundering. She knows the patterns. Michelle, Mr. Santos, where did this money come from? Victor, I told you, investments. Michelle, you're going to need to be more specific. Because the way you were trying to move this money, hidden compartments, multiple suitcases, false documentation that looks like money laundering to me.
Victor, I wasn't laundering anything.
Michelle, then why hide the money? Why not just declare it like you're supposed to? If you had declared it, you could have taken it. Americans can move currency. They just have to declare it. Victor doesn't answer. Because the truth is, he couldn't declare it. Because the money wasn't legitimately earned. Because the money came from somewhere that the US government would be very interested in. Michelle begins investigating Victor's background. She investigates his finances. She investigates his business dealings. What she discovers is shocking. Victor isn't just a businessman. Victor is connected to a major drug trafficking organization in São Paulo. Victor has been running a money laundering operation for 5 years. 5 years of moving drug money out of the United States and into Brazil. The operation is sophisticated. Victor works with other money launderers. They receive cash from drug distribution networks. They break it into smaller amounts. They hide it in luggage. They move it through international airports. They deposit it in banks in Brazil and other countries with less stringent financial regulations. The operation has been moving approximately $10 million per year. $10 million in drug proceeds. $10 million being laundered through international travel. Federal agents begin investigating Victor's co-conspirators. They begin tracking the money flows. They begin building a case against the entire organization. Over the next several weeks, federal agents arrest multiple people. They arrest Victor's business partners. They arrest people at the airports who were helping move the money. They arrest people in Brazil who were receiving the money. They trace the money. They discover that much of it came from cocaine distribution in Los Angeles. Cocaine being sold on the streets. Money from that cocaine being laundered through Victor's operation. They discovered that the money was being used to fund cartel operations in Brazil. The money was being used to buy weapons, to bribe officials, to fund further drug trafficking operations. The investigation expands into an international case. Federal agents work with authorities in Brazil. They work with Interpol. They coordinate operations across multiple countries. Victor's money, the $2 million seized at LAX, is kept as evidence. It will be used in his prosecution. It will be used to show the scale of his operation. Victor is charged with money laundering. He's charged with conspiracy. He's charged with being part of a drug trafficking organization. He faces up to 30 years in federal prison. Meanwhile, FBI Special Agent Michelle Chang continues her investigation. She's looking deeper into the operation. She's looking at the structure. She's looking at how the money was being moved. She's looking at pattern. What she discovers is that this operation has been running for years, undetected. Years of moving millions of dollars. Years of funding drug trafficking organizations. Years of contributing to violence and addiction in the United States. And it took a dog named Duke, a dog trained to detect the scent of currency. One dog, one inspection, one moment at LAX airport. That's what uncovered a multi-million-dollar money laundering operation. Officer Lisa Martinez receives a commendation for her work on this case. She's recognized for her instinct, for her attention to detail, for calling for the currency dog. Duke, the currency dog, becomes famous. His story is featured in news outlets. His story is shared on social media. Duke becomes a symbol of how law enforcement agencies use technology and training to combat financial crimes. The trial begins 6 months later. Victor is prosecuted in federal court. The evidence is overwhelming. The hidden compartments, the hidden money, the communications with co-conspirators, the financial records. Victor is convicted on all counts. He receives a sentence of 25 years in federal prison. But the story doesn't end with Victor's conviction. The investigation continues. The other members of the organization are prosecuted. Money is seized. Operations are shut down. In Brazil, authorities are arresting people on their end. They're shutting down the distribution centers. They're freezing bank accounts. They're dismantling the operation that was receiving the laundered money. The impact is significant. $10 million per year in drug money that was being laundered is now being disrupted. That money will no longer fund cartel violence. That money will no longer support drug trafficking operations. Officer Lisa Martinez is invited to speak at law enforcement conferences. She talks about the case. She talks about the importance of training detection dogs. She talks about how one moment, one inspection, one dog can change everything. She becomes an advocate for better funding for customs operations. She advocates for more detection dogs. She advocates for more training. She advocates for more resources dedicated to financial crimes at airports. Years pass. Victor is sitting in a federal prison. He's been in prison for 8 years. 8 years to reflect on his choices. 8 years to understand the damage he was causing. He writes a letter to Officer Lisa Martinez. He writes it from prison. Officer Martinez, the letter begins. I want you to know that I understand now. I understand that what I was doing was wrong. I was part of a system that was destroying lives. The money I was moving was drug money. Drug money that was ruining families. Drug money that was funding violence. I thought I was just moving money, he continues. I thought I was just helping a business operation. I didn't let myself think about where the money came from. I didn't let myself think about the cocaine addicts whose money it was. I didn't let myself think about the families being destroyed by addiction. I didn't let myself think about the violence being funded by this money. Then I got caught. Then I had time to think, and I realized the magnitude of what I was part of. I realized that I was responsible for real suffering, real damage, real lives destroyed. Thank you for catching me, the letter concludes. Thank you for doing your job. Thank you for caring enough to notice something was wrong. Thank you for saving how many lives by stopping this operation? Hundreds? Thousands? But I know that without your work, this operation would still be running. Without your instinct, more people would be suffering. Lisa receives the letter in her office at LAX. She reads it. She thinks about that Wednesday morning. She thinks about seeing Victor with 17 suitcases. She thinks about calling for Duke. She thinks about the moment Duke started indicating on bag after bag after bag. She thinks about how that one moment led to the disruption of a $10 million per year money laundering operation. She thinks about how that one moment led to the prosecution of multiple criminals. She thinks about how that one moment prevented further drug trafficking. Officer Lisa Martinez continues working at LAX. She continues inspecting baggage. She continues looking for suspicious patterns. She continues trusting her instincts. She continues working with detection dogs. The currency dog Duke continues his work at LAX. He continues sniffing bags. He continues detecting the scent of currency. He continues alerting officers to suspicious shipments. He continues helping federal agents combat financial crimes. Years later, Duke retires from active duty. He's given to a loving family. He spends his final years as a beloved pet, a pet who once helped disrupt a multi-million-dollar money laundering operation. The $2 million seized from Victor is eventually used to fund law enforcement operations. It's used to purchase more detection equipment. It's used to train more detection dogs. It's used to fund the very operations that caught Victor. Cartel operations in Brazil are weakened by the loss of funding. Violence decreases. drug trafficking decreases. Lives are saved. Officer Lisa Martinez thinks about all of this. She thinks about the chain of events, the suspicious behavior, the secondary inspection, the hidden compartments, the detection dog, the arrest, the prosecution, the international cooperation, the impact. She thinks about how that one moment on a Wednesday morning at LAX changed the course of history in a small way, changed the lives of people she'll never meet, prevented violence that she'll never know about, saved lives she'll never see. That's the power of customs work. That's the power of paying attention. That's the power of one person doing their job well, noticing something suspicious, calling for backup, following procedure, and changing everything. Officer Lisa Martinez and the currency dog Duke become symbols of how law enforcement combats financial crimes. They become symbols of how training, instinct, and attention to detail can dismantle criminal operations. They become symbols of how one moment, one inspection, one dog can ripple across the globe and impact millions of lives.
That's the story of Los Angeles International Airport. That's the story of what happened on a Wednesday morning at 9:15 a.m. That's the story of Officer Lisa Martinez and Duke and the $2 million hidden in 17 suitcases. It's a story about vigilance. It's a story about the importance of law enforcement. It's a story about how criminals are caught and how operations are dismantled. It's a story about how one moment can change everything.